Because if a lot can now be done by AI and will be done by AI and will be automated, what are you going to offer? What are we going to offer? This is how people like us, creators, creatives, entrepreneurs, need to begin to pivot and plan with AI very much in mind. So I'm just getting in from a bit of a walk, and before I start working, reading, recording, writing, all the usual things that I do, I wanted to share that from the research that I've done so far, from what I'm hearing so far from the so-called experts, is that the bricoleur mindset, which I talk about a lot, I derive it from bricolage, which is used within systems thinking, and it's part of my post-grad research. And the idea is to use what's at your fingertips. Don't always look at things in very logical steps. Be a little bit more creative. I'm super simplifying it for the point that I want to make, and that is, as beings, creative, multi-skilled beings that most of us actually are, most of us are skilled or interested in more than one thing. By having more than one string on our bow, we are able to source from those very valuable skills. And when we do that, what ends up happening is that we can arrive at much more innovative and interesting solutions for ourselves and for others. Why am I saying this? Because we have been taught to niche, super focus, only communicate with your audience through this one way, through this one funnel. And as we know, that has become quite formulaic and cliche, and therefore not very genuine, and so people are not going to trust it. So what do we need to do? We need to just connect in more than one way, make ourselves accessible in more than one way if we want to build an audience, and if we are trying to engage with the community online, which most of us are having to do even if we have a shop, right? Even if you have an in-person place of business. So the way that we need to do that is to utilize all the different skills that we have, the different techniques, mediums that we have at our disposal. Because if we don't do that, we'll get gobbled up. We'll get gobbled up because there'll be those who do and those that don't. There'll be those who will know how to pivot, how to stretch themselves, how to do multiple things, how to be more agile, be more adaptable with all the technological changes coming down the line. And if you're not, and if you're just relying on one thing, this isn't just about having multiple sources of income. This isn't about having multiple projects on the go. This is being multi-skilled, very resourceful, dependable, reliable. So if a lot is going to be done by these automated functions that are coming down the line, then how are we going to stand out? So that's basically our competition. Are you just going to sit back and say, okay, well, now I'll be one of the, unfortunately, many who don't know how to deal with this new world, and we'll just happily become very dependent on who? Who can you depend on? Because then what use are you? So it's kind of a bit of a doomsday kind of message from me, but really what I'm saying is that things are always changing, and we have very unique offerings, but one sort of generally unique offering that we need to put out there and cultivate is being multi-skilled. So use everything that's at your disposal, follow your curiosity. If you're doing more than one thing, if you're able to coach and teach and then write and then put on an event, or paint, but then also sing, and then also write textbooks for kids at school, even though they won't need textbooks. I think you know where I'm going with this. Allow yourself to just play, be curious, see what you come to. You don't have to arrive at it all at once, and try not to rely too much on AI. Use it, but figure out what you can do, how you can synthesize things, how you can bring something together that could be of use. Whilst those tools are very important for us to become familiar with, there's also going to be an element of human curation Okay, so how are you going to curate it? So don't just take the outputs that are coming from AI and also from you. How can you then curate it? If it sounds like a lot of work, excellent, then I'm really speaking to the right person, because you're ready for it. You're ready to become this creator plus curator, because a lot of these outputs are going to be done for us, and we've got to figure out a way to become much more interesting, much more innovative, much more useful. So let me know your thoughts on that. And if you haven't already, sub, follow, and all those wonderful things. I'll see you in the next one.